All right. Is everyone here? I'm finally here. Good Lord. Okay. Sorry about that. I am a little bit late, you guys. Had a little technical difficulty and I had to restart our internet. Anyway, I am here now so we can go ahead and get started, which is awesome. For those of you that may be tuning in for the very first time ever, hello to you and welcome. My name is Valerie Lewis, and I am CEO of Victory with Valerie, where it is my mission to educate, enlighten, and empower you, the entrepreneur, so that you can have victory in your professional online marketing. So, hold on one moment because this is not popping up like it should. I don't see anything. Can you guys see me okay? I'm not seeing any, it says I streamed live 13 minutes ago. What is this? Oh, I know what it is. We might have a little bit of a technical problem here, you guys. Hold on. I don't know if it lets me refresh. What? We're about to find out. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see me okay at this point. Yes. Okay. Awesome. For some reason, I couldn't see me, which is weird. Because that's how I indicate whether or not this is working and everything's going all right. So, great. I think we got it all straight. So, anyway, today, oh my gosh, isn't this the perfect day to talk about this? Because I've been running behind all day, and yes, it is my own fault. But today we're going to be talking about chapter 7, which is all about gratitude. I found it very interesting that this was placed in the book because a lot of people do not realize how important gratitude is. So we're going to talk about that. Now, I didn't get a chance to go back over it and take my notes down like I normally do. Well, I had a chance, but I didn't do it. Okay, so my apologies. And my nose is itchy. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and pull this book up. All right, so he starts off with reminding us that the illustrations given in the last chapter will have conveyed to the reader the fact that the first step towards getting rich is to convey the idea of your wants to the formless substance. Now, I call it prayer, and perhaps you do too, or maybe you call it something else. Maybe it's maybe even meditation or visualization, but that is definitely something that you want to do. And he says this is true. And you'll see that in order to do so, it becomes necessary to relate yourself to the formless intelligence in a harmonious way. To secure this harmonious relation is a matter of such primary and vital importance that I shall give some space to its discussion here and give you instructions which, if you follow them, will be certain to bring you into perfect unity of mind with God. Okay? So, just to know that you have this connection with the all-knowing, right? And you know, he knows everything. He is everywhere, and so you don't have to act like he's far away when you're talking. You know, when you're praying or when you're visualizing, right? And you also don't need to act like you have to uh, perform and pretend to be something that you're not in order to have that connection. You simply will share how it is, what it is that you want. Just plain speak. Like, you don't have to get all fancy. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You're talking to your creator. You're talking to someone who knows you better than you. The only one who knows you better than you. So, like, let's get real. Okay. So he goes on to say the whole process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. First, you believe that there is one intelligent substance from which all things proceed, right? We talked about that in previous chapters. And then second, you believe that this substance gives you everything you desire, right? And then third, you relate yourself to it by feeling a deep and profound gratitude. Now, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, what is gratitude supposed to do? How's that supposed to make me rich? How's that supposed to make me successful in my business? This is exactly how. Because again, it's a mindset, right? You have to focus on um, the things that you cannot control. How do you respond to those things? Okay. I heard a pastor before put it very simply. That was the first time I heard this. But you need to think about if you want to be a thermostat or a thermometer. Thermometer, you place that in a certain environment and it will become the temperature of whatever the environment is. Okay. Um, then you have your thermostat, which will regulate the temperature. Okay. If it's too hot, it's not going to get hot with the rest of the room. It's going to cool the room down. If it's too cold, same thing. It's not going to just get cold and adapt to the room. It's going to adjust the room. So you want to think about whether or not you are the thermostat or the thermometer, and hopefully you will want to be the thermostat. You will want to be the one who knows how to, regulate where you are, and that will affect all the things around you. Okay, as opposed to you just reacting to everything. Stop reacting, start creating circumstances in your life instead of just reacting to whatever comes your way. Because when people tell me, their circumstances are the way that they are, and there's nothing I can do about it, and so I'm just stuck here, and this is just the way my life is, and they just tolerate life instead of creating more life. If you don't like where you are, go create some different circumstances, right? Figure out how to do that and then go do that. And I look at it as you are forfeiting your power to be able to live the life you want because it's easier. Interesting. Okay. So, moving on. Let's see. So he goes on to say, many people who order their lives rightly in all other ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. Having received one gift from God, they cut the wires which connect them with Him by failing to make an acknowledgement. Whoa. I see this a lot when I deal with, struggling, my coaching clients when they first come in, if they're struggling or they're new. They look around at others and they compare themselves. So again, we got to get out of the comparative mode, the competition mode, and we have to start living in the creative mode. And when you become creative, you start thinking about the things that you can do, the things about you that are your strengths, and you tap into those to bring forth whatever it is that you are going to create. But what I see is, and I did this too in the beginning, what I see is instead of people tapping into their own gifts and their own uniqueness, and their talents and their, skills and all that, instead of tapping into that, they look around at other people and they say, well, that person has something that I do not have. And so they totally acknowledge what they do. They totally, not acknowledge. They totally do not acknowledge. They totally ignore, all the gifts that they do have because they are so busy focusing on what other people have that they don't. There's a reason why other people have that, because they're not you. And there's a reason why you don't have what they have. It's because you're you, not them. And when you start to show gratitude for that, this is one of the quickest, easiest ways for you to get out of competitive mode. When you start focusing on being grateful for what it is that you have and what it is that you are, it will allow you, when you put your focus on those things, it will allow you to create more of it. Okay? So, for instance, for me, I'm not a super technical person, but I don't have to be a super technical person in order for me to have success in my online business. I don't have to do that. If that's not my strength, why don't I go tap into my strength? My strength is talking to people. My strength is being me, being and being comfortable with who I am. And I think a lot of people can pick up on that, If somebody doesn't like what I have to say, they can leave. Like, their comment is not going to change me. I am still me, and even when someone has an opposing point of view, I don't mind looking at somebody else's point of view. I have a totally open mind, you know. It's just, if we're going to debate, like, let's stay on topic. Like, that whole thing. Like, I cannot deal with, foolish people. I don't deal with that. But you have to be thankful for what you do have. And when you look around, if you're going to compare yourself to anything, if you're going to look around and compare, think about the fact that whatever you feel like you're lacking right now, you have more than what somebody else has. You have resources available for you to tap into those resources and use those to help get you to the next level of wherever it is that you want to be. And like, gratitude is just such a big deal for me, because when you start to realize how blessed you are, then even when things don't go your way, whether it's in business or in your personal life, but even when, I'm going to use business as an example, even when things don't go your way, it is not going to be an excuse or a reason or a justification for you to quit. Okay? You are going to face obstacles your entire life. So you might as well just get used to that. Okay? But when those obstacles and those challenges arise, you've got to know that you're stronger than any situation that can come up. Okay? And be thankful that you have a connection with that formless substance, that intelligent substance, that you have that connection with God, who is all powerful, and he can do anything, and so can you through him. So whatever this obstacle is that you think is so big, you can get through it, over it, around it. Okay, and then you have to remember, okay, there's this one obstacle I'm going through now, but oh, I'm so grateful for all the obstacles that I've gone through before, and I made it, and I've triumphed, and I've had victory, and it's brought me to this point, so I must be ready to handle it, because all those previous things prepared me for what I'm about to go through today. And be grateful for it. Be grateful that you don't have this boring, mundane, robotic life, right? Or if you do, that you have a way to get out of it, okay? Where, nothing bad ever happens, nothing toughens you up, nothing makes you stronger, nothing excites you. Even with the saying, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all, right? I can equate the same for going through opposition. Not necessarily going through struggles all the time, because sometimes people volunteer to struggle. Like, God's like, I didn't even give you that to go through. You just jumped right in the mud. I didn't ask you to go through that, okay? But sometimes we put ourselves in situations. But anyway, just be grateful, okay? And let's continue with the book, because I could go and talk about gratitude like all day, okay? Let's see what else we got here. Let's get back into this. Okay, so, whoops, I went too far. Okay, so he goes on to say, it's easy to understand that the nearer we live to the source of wealth, the more wealth we shall receive. And it's easy also to understand that the soul that is always grateful lives in closer touch with God than the one which never looks to him in thankful acknowledgement. The more gratefully we fix our minds on the Supreme when good things come to us, the more good things we'll receive, and the more rapidly they will come. And the reason simply is that the mental attitude of gratitude draws the mind into closer touch with the source from which the blessings come. So again, it's a matter of what you focus on is what you produce more of. So for people that want to meditate on the negative, which we call worry, the more you worry about it, the more these things tend to happen to you. And now you feel powerless. So now you're worried some more that more stuff is going to happen. And then it does, right? But the more you focus and you meditate on the good, right? That's what when we call it meditation. But honestly, worrying is when you meditate on the negative. You meditate, you chew it up, and you feed on it and you regurgitate it, and then you chew some more, just like a cow, right? Like that's the definition in the Bible. If you ever look up the original, Hebrew and Greek, you'll know. But to meditate is you're thinking on it over and over and over again, so much so that eventually it gets planted in your subconscious, which is where your belief lies. And the more you believe something, the more you act based on your beliefs, right? If you don't, but I'm gonna give you a nice bold example, okay? If you don't believe in kissing someone of the same sex, you'll never do it, right? Like, you're not gonna voluntarily you're not gonna act on the things in which you do not believe. Are y'all understanding? Like, I wanted to throw a really bold statement out there, okay? So it's the same. If you don't actually believe that you can have success in your business, you're never going to do the actions that will cause you to have success. And if you don't believe, now in the on the inverse, if you don't believe in failure, you will never look at anything that you go through in life as a failure. Even if something did not work out, you will see it as a lesson, not as a failure, and there's something wrong with you and all that kind of stuff. So whatever you focus on is what you're going to produce more of, because it's all based on your beliefs. What you believe is what you be and what you live, okay? Those are the things that, let me pull that up for you guys, okay? So what you believe is what you start to become and what you start to live. Okay, boom, right there. All right. The words be and live are right there in the word believe. Like, come on. How much bolder can you get? Okay, that's so cool. Okay. All right. So he goes on to say, if it is a new thought to you that gratitude brings your whole mind into closer harmony with the creative energies of the universe, consider it well, and you will see that it is true. The good things that you already have come to you along the line of obedience to certain laws. Gratitude will lead your mind out along the ways by which things come, and it will keep you in close harmony with creative thought and prevent you from falling into competitive thought. The more you're grateful for you being exactly who you are and you're happy with that, the less you're going to focus on, oh, I wish I could be like this person. I wish I could be like that person, right? For those of you in network marketing, oh, I wish I could be like Eric Worre. I wish I could be like Ray Higdon. Look, I know Ray Higdon, okay? He's an awesome guy. I don't want to be Ray Higdon. I want to be Valerie Lewis. I like her. That's who I was called to be. That's who I was created to be. There's nobody can be better at being Val than Val. Nobody is qualified enough to be me. I am the perfect fit to be me. And when you start looking at yourself that way, you don't need to go around looking at someone else to model. Can you get tips and advice on strategies and things like that for your business? Absolutely. But you will not start feeling like you need to become more like that person. Oh my gosh, Ray Higdon has so many followers, and so many people buy his stuff, and he makes, 4.7 million a year. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. In order for me to do that, I need to be that. No. In order for you to accomplish that, you need to be you and follow those laws. Ray is obviously following laws. He's doing things in a certain way that is allowing him to be able to produce those results. And I tell you, gratitude is definitely one of them. Because what a lot of people do is look at your wins, but they don't look at all the stuff it took you to get to the win. They think it was just a quick sprint. No, you went through a whole obstacle course. Okay, you had to climb the wall, right? You had to climb up the rope. You had to get through the what is that? You had to jump through the tires. You had to get through the tunnel. Like, you had to do a lot of things to get to where you are today, and to be jumping up and down with the medals on and a trophy in your hand. People don't want to see those parts though, right? They don't ever focus on those things though. And see, when you know, right, when you know that that's what you had to go through, this is what makes you so grateful that you made it. It's great to win, but you daggone it, just be happy that you made it through, right? And people don't see that, because people see Ray at the 4.7 million, but they don't see him in the beginning. In the beginning of this whole journey, when he couldn't even pay his own bills, and his girlfriend at the time was helping him with his bills, when he was in double foreclosure, right? When he was laid off from his $80,000 a year job, thinking, oh my gosh, $80,000 is so much. But he makes 4.7 now, 4.7 million. Hello, right? I think if he had to think about that again, he wouldn't be so concerned about the 80,000. Right? And I think we also do that. When you don't have gratitude, you put a cap on yourself. You put the limit on yourself, and you will get yourself to a point that you just get comfortable. You get comfortable with settling. You get comfortable with just tolerating your life. Like, all right, well, I'm here. I'm breathing in and out. I guess that's enough. No, no, God does not want that for you. He wants you to live life to the fullest. You are here on this planet in a certain area where you are at a specific time in the history of time for a reason. You are surrounded by certain people right now, which, as you build those connections and those relationships with those people, will allow you to get to the next level and meet more people, and which will allow you to get to the next level, which will allow you to learn new things, or see new things, or open doors of opportunity for you. Like, you can't, the different amounts of possibilities are an inexhaustible, imponderable amount of different situations that start to take place for your life to end up being the way that it is, or that it will be, or that you're planning. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? Like, are you getting this? I certainly hope so. Okay? Because it is so important. So important to have gratitude. Okay? I see Mike is on. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's continue on. So let's see. Gratitude alone can keep you looking toward the all, and prevent you from falling into the error of thinking the supply is limited, and to do what would be fatal to your hopes. There is a law of gratitude, and it is absolutely necessary that you should observe the law for if you are to get the results that you seek. Okay? The law of gratitude is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal and in opposite directions. The grateful outreaching of your mind in thankful praise to the Supreme is a liberation or expenditure of force. It cannot fail to reach that to which it is addressed. And the reaction is an instantaneous movement towards you. Draw nigh unto God, and he will draw nigh unto you. That is a statement of psychological truth. Boy, this is so deep. This is so deep, and it is so good. Okay, like, I love this. I love this. This right here, when I hear people tell me, oh, I don't have motivation to move forward in my business, you need to have some gratitude. Start with that. Start with being thankful and grateful for the fact that you are in business. You're in a position to change the world. You're in a position to not only change your life, but the lives of others. You need to stop focusing just on you, right? And you start looking around at all of the possibilities of all these people that just by the sheer acquaintance of you could actually improve someone else's life. And the thing is, again, it's a matter of what my pastor says. You need to stop thinking horizontally and focusing on the horizontal, and you need to focus on the vertical relationship. Right? So stop focusing on comparing yourself to other human beings and start focusing on relating yourself and connecting yourself with the Supreme. I love that. Very good stuff. All right. So let's continue on with the book. Okay, so he says, and if your gratitude is strong and constant, the reaction in formless substance will be strong and continuous. The movement of the things you want will be always towards you. Notice the grateful attitude that Jesus took. How he always seems to be saying, I thank thee, Father, that thou hearest me. You cannot exercise much power without gratitude, for it is gratitude that keeps you connected with power. But the value of gratitude does not consist solely of you getting more blessings in the future. Without gratitude, you cannot long keep from dissatisfied thought regarding things as they are. The moment you permit your mind to dwell with dissatisfaction, whoo, here we go. To dwell with dissatisfaction upon things as they are, you begin to lose ground. You fix attention upon the common, the ordinary, the poor, the squalid, and the mean. Okay, and your mind takes the form of these things. Then you'll transmit these forms or mental images to the formless. And the common, the poor, the squalid, and the mean will come to you. This is where they got it right in The Secret. Okay, as a matter of fact, the lady who wrote The Secret, she was very much impacted and inspired to write her book based on this book. Okay. Now, one thing, again, I've told you guys this in previous videos. I don't necessarily want to say thoughts become things. I think there's something missing in between. Okay. Thoughts become beliefs if you think about it consistently. Okay. So I think we really should say consistent thought. Consistent thought will become a belief, and that belief will become the thing if you take action on it. Like it's little gaps in there that's missing, in my personal opinion. But people will say thoughts become things, and then people will listen to that and think, oh, all I gotta do is think about it. Okay, I want a brand new Ferrari. And they think it's no, that's not what we're talking about. Because when you think about it, when you think about it consistently, right, and you meditate on it and you believe that it will come to you, right? You can't just think about it here and there, but you have to start planting that seed into your subconscious mind so it becomes a belief, and then you take action based on your beliefs. So you will take the actions necessary to have that car get to you. And it starts with gratitude. This really gets the ball in motion. It keeps the wheels of the machine lubricated and all that great stuff. Okay. So he says, to permit your mind to dwell upon the inferior is to become inferior and to surround yourself with inferior things. On the other hand, to fix your attention on the best is to surround yourself with the best and to become the best. The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. Boom. That's exactly what I was just saying. Whatever you put your focus on, whatever you put your attention on, is what you're going to produce more of. Okay? We are thinking substance, and thinking substance always takes the form of that which it thinks about. Okay? The grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best. When you're grateful, you're focused on that. You're focused on becoming even greater, right? So that you can continue to give more of yourself to the world and help more people out in any way that you can. And you do this in honor and in service of God, right? Like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna sit here and we're gonna be on the same page all day. Okay. Also, faith is born of gratitude. The grateful mind continually expects good things, and expectation becomes faith. Listen, in the Bible, when you grab the Hebrew word for hope, okay, the definition of hope is it's confident expectation. Confident expectation. So when you are praying and you are hoping on that prayer to get answered, what that's supposed to mean is not, well, maybe my prayer will get answered and maybe it won't. That's what we're starting to make hope mean. That's not what it is. Hope is, now that I've prayed for it, I believe that I'm going to get it and I am expecting it to arrive right on time. Just like when you order in a restaurant or you order something online, you expect it to show up when they say it's going to show up. Right? You're not saying, oh, it might show up and I may never get that item even though I paid for it. Wrong. Y'all will be on the phone in a heartbeat. Hello, Amazon? I ain't get my item. Where's my money? Right? Either give me my item or give me my money, right? So, same thing when it comes to having hope and having expectation. Okay? And when you have faith, I look at faith, if we were to talk about this on a spiritual level, which, he's getting into, I look at faith as having the right view of God, a positive view of God, because a lot of people are fearful of God. A lot of people think that he is this vengeful, way up here, and you have to, bend over backwards and do all these crazy things, or that he wants to hurt you to teach you lessons and things like that. No, he is the Father. Now, what good parent do you know doesn't want good things for their children? And that's what Jesus was talking about, right? When he was like, if you, being imperfect, knows how to take care of your child and you want good things for your child, why would you think that the Father is any different? Right? So when you start to repent, which is to change your mind, the Greek is metanoia, and when you change your mind about those things and you turn away from this negative view of God, of being old, like, where did that come from? God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And aging and sickness and death and all of that, that's part of the curse. He's not cursed. So no, he does not have this white hair and a cane up in heaven sitting on the throne. I don't know where anybody got that from. He is young. He is strong. Right? How are you all powerful and you all wrinkled up and hunched over and stuff? Like, I don't understand. I do not understand why people paint pictures and stuff like that. Like, what are you doing? Okay? But anyway, where was I going with this? Okay, so when you have that positive outlook, when you change your mind from this negative where you think he's old or you think he's not listening to you, like, what parent has a child and the entire time you're like, I am not listening to you right now, my child. Go away. Like, nobody does that. Don't nobody. You got a child that you love. Who does that? Right? So when you start to repent, you start to change your mind about all these negative things, that he's vengeful, that he's angry. Yes, he can be angry. But all that anger, I believe, so please don't put this in the comments if you don't agree with me. I'm just letting you know, for those of you that have that open mind and you want to start really looking at this, I believe that all of that anger got exhausted through Jesus Christ on the cross. Okay, so that anger for me is gone. Somebody had to pay the wages of sin, which is death. Jesus did that on my behalf. And it is a picture, it is a type of, in the Old Testament, when they had to do the sin offerings, that the high priest would bring in the lamb. The lamb had to be blameless, spotless, blemish free, right? That's a picture of Jesus. That sacrifice, those people didn't have to die. That high priest had to be blessed. And for him to bring in that sacrifice, of that perfect sacrifice where there were no blemishes, and then the reason why he had his hand on the head of that lamb was that the sins of the people, which is who the high priest represented, the sins of the people went into that lamb, and that blamelessness of the lamb was imputed on the high priest and the rest of the people. If the high priest did what he was supposed to do, that one person who represented all the people, if he did what he was supposed to do, right, and in God's eyes he was pleasing, then all the people were blessed. No matter what each individual person was doing. Okay. And if the high priest if he didn't do what he was supposed to do, then he would be cursed and the entire nation would be cursed, no matter how good they tried to be. Okay. And that is a shadow of what was to come through Jesus Christ. Okay. And when he died, he was that lamb, he was that sacrifice, he took my place. So it would be just like, if I had a mortgage, and Lord, let's not even get started on what the word mortgage actually means. Have y'all ever looked that up? Right? Anyway. So for him to take my place is just like if I owed a mortgage, right? And my mortgage was, $100,000. And Jesus came and said, I will pay for that. I will take care of that for you. And instead of paying the $100,000, he pays $1,000,000 for my house. Like he's over delivered, overpaid. My debt's clear. That is a positive view. That is having the faith to know that these wonderful things have been provided for you. And it is an inexhaustible supply. It is a limitless supply, you guys. We do not have to live in this lack mentality and this scarcity mentality. Okay. So even if you don't necessarily, 100% agree with what I'm talking about, or you don't understand what I'm talking about, that's totally fine. I can respect your opinion. But this is where I believe when he's talking about the truth will set you free, this is the truth. Okay? That all you need to do is have that faith, have that positive opinion of God. He has made a way to allow his anger to no longer be in between him and you. That there is no longer a veil between him and you. That you get to come to him, just like we're talking about in this book, and impress upon his mind what's on your mind through prayer. He's here. He's available for you. He is listening to you, and he will bring you what you ask for, but you have to believe it, because your lack of belief, all this doubting, all this fear, your lack of belief will block it. And he is not going to force his blessings on you. You have to accept them. You accept the gifts. If you don't accept the gifts and you don't even acknowledge the gifts, and you have no gratitude whatsoever, you're not going to get very far. Y'all getting it? Okay. So he goes on to say the reaction of gratitude upon one's own mind produces faith. And every outgoing wave of grateful thanksgiving increases the faith. He who has no feeling of gratitude cannot long retain a living faith. And without a living faith, you cannot get rich by the creative method, as we shall see in the following chapters. It is necessary then to cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, and to give thanks continually. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. Do not waste time thinking or talking about the shortcomings or the wrong actions of plutocrats or trust magnates. Their organization of the world has made your opportunity. All you really get comes to you. All you get really comes to you because of them. Do not rage against corrupt politicians. If it were not for politicians, we would fall into anarchy and your opportunity would be greatly lessened. God has worked a long time and very patiently to bring us up to where we are in industry and government, and he is going right on with his work. There is not the least doubt that he will do away with the plutocrats and the trust magnates and captains of industry and politicians as soon as they can be spared. But in the meantime, behold, they are all very good for you. Okay, they're all very good is what he said, but I just wanted to add that emphasis. Remember that they are all helping to arrange the lines of transmission along which your riches will come to you, and be grateful to them all. This will bring you into harmonious relations with the good in everything, and the good in everything will move toward you. I love this. This is awesome. And I'm so glad oh my God. This is good. This is a powerful chapter. And like I said, a lot of people are not, they don't even realize how important being grateful is to the advancement of your state of being and others. Okay. So it's just like, I love when he talks about the waves of gratitude brings more faith and more living faith. And that's what I feel about grace. You know, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. It's in him. And and again, this is my personal belief. And I'm just expressing to you guys what I'm thinking about when I read the book, and I hope you do the same. But when I read that, grace and truth came. It's grace and truth together. You cannot separate it, okay? And that grace is that undeserved, unmerited favor where you didn't have to do anything to earn your blessings except believe. That's it. When you had that I think it was the soldier come to Jesus and ask him, you know, what do I need to do? And Jesus gave 2 words: only believe. He didn't say run around, do a dance, you know, like just believe. Because what's going to happen for you is you are going to be able to finally rest. There's so many people out here that's under so much stress. This is how you get your peace of mind, you guys. It's through having the gratitude. I can honestly say, you know, I don't really have things that I stress over. I really don't. There are things that may annoy me or frustrate me for the moment and then they go away. But I'm not under like stress when it comes to anything. Relationships, money, like my kids, like I'm not under any stress. And mind you, I got 2 teenagers. But my teenagers are total, like, I don't want to say angels, but they're wonderful kids, right? And well, now one adult, because my daughter's 18, and I love them and I respect them, and they have really grown to be their own person, and at the same time respectful, because although we're friendly, we're not friends, right? I'm their mother, you know. And I take that duty very seriously, that responsibility very seriously, to be a steward. And when I focus on, you know, the fact that you have that grace, you have that truth, and this is what Wattles is talking about. The truth, whether you can see it clearly in this very moment or not. Maybe your circumstances are showing you something totally different. You're like, how can God love me when all this tragedy is happening around me? And you have to remember, God didn't do that. Okay? And I know that can be difficult and that can be painful. Trust me, I get it. I've been through things in my life myself, and I'm like, I don't understand why this happened, or why this happened to me, or where does this fit in me understanding my life better, you know. I get that. Okay, but you have to continue moving forward with a heart of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in today. This is a very deep session. This was almost an hour long. So if you're catching the replay, you know, if you need to pause and take a few breaks and stuff and come back, that's totally fine. And that's why I'm doing this on YouTube, because I'm excited to see how many, you know, hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of people that are going to end up watching. And we can hopefully in the comments we'll be able to have a loving discussion, full of insight and lots of points of view, without it being, you know, rude or disrespectful or anything like that, because we're going to take those comments out. So so you'll be wasting your time anyway. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been so much fun, you guys. Has it been a week already? Because this is chapter 7, plus we did the preface, so yeah. But it's been wonderful. So again, if you guys are just coming across this video for the first time and you'd like to be a part of Val's Business Builder Book Club, then all you need to do to join is subscribe to my channel. And if you need a copy of this particular book, reach out to me and let me know, and I'll be sure to send you a free copy. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we talk about thinking in the certain way. Oh, I like it. All right. Enjoy your day, everybody, and I'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same channel. Oh, wait, I see one comment. Believing God through faith and praying. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. And we don't have enough time in this video for me to like deeply go into all of the things that I believe. and really like breaking it down. But maybe in some more subsequent chapters we'll get into some more of that, right? So yeah, and feel free, share your thoughts, share your feelings, share your beliefs. I am totally cool with that. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, YouTube channel. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right, bye.